Cool. So, I'm just going to use your name. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay, cool. You're not hiding out or anything. So, Kenny, you're a pilot, and you have some challenges with, you get called out at all odds, like kind of like a doctor or someone on call, right?
Correct.
So, then you usually do okay, you do pretty well at home, right?
Yeah, I can do pretty well at home because I have control then.
Yeah, and then when
What
you...
I feel is control.
So one thing that you might consider doing is next time you make juice, and this is going to be a good suggestion for a lot of people. Now normally it's best to drink juice fresh, right?
Right.
You make it, you drink it. But in your case, it might be a great idea that every time you make juice, you make like 3 jars of it. And then you drink one, and then you save 2 of them, just in case you get called out. If you preserve it with lemon juice, it'll last. And you put it in the fridge, and then if you get called, you get yourself a little cooler, and then you've always got your little cooler right there that'll fit like a little ice block that you'll have your little ice blocks in the freezer. So you get one of those medium-sized coolers, right? Would that be possible?
Yeah, that could be possible. What I would have to do is put it into the cooler, the community cooler on the airplane due to space.
I see,
I
but
can easily do that.
and then what? The flight attendant gets it for you, or?
No, we've got what it is an air ambulance company. So I mean, the cooler stands right behind or sits right behind me, and we've got a medical staff. And usually, if we want something out of the cooler, we just get them to hand it to us. It's not a big deal where I can do that.
Okay, I would get a medium-sized cooler, and this is going to be a good idea for a lot of people. This is what I do, except I have a huge cooler in the back of my truck. But I got to stay raw, bro, because it's my life. I got to stay healthy. But you could take the medium-sized cooler, and you take those plastic water jugs, the kind that are the clear plastic with the little handle, like Crystal Geyser, gallon size.
Right.
And then you freeze that, okay? And then you freeze that, and you put that in your medium-sized cooler, and then you put your 2 jars of juice in there, and then you put 4 oranges, 4 Asian pears, and like a ½ pound of dates, or whatever your favorite, couple apples, some raisins, but mainly like the jars of juice is the main thing, or smoothies for like that emergency to take the edge off. But do you ever bring your own food?
No, but what I will do a lot of times, well, food, what I know it as, would be, I'll just take some bananas or some apples with me.
How many do you bring though?
I kind of have to watch out sometimes. I have to hide it on the plane because sometimes we go into a lot of third world countries, and what they'll do is they will check the airplane. So I kind of have to hide that, but they don't do that normally, and that hasn't stopped me from taking food on board with me.
So that just happens rarely.
Yeah, right, correct.
Okay. Well, so how many bananas do you bring?
Usually about 2.
Okay, see,
Maybe a couple of bananas, and see, that's where the ignorance on my part is. How much can I take? And I was just watching your DVD today, Lose 1 Pound a Day, the healthy way, and obviously it doesn't look like there's a limit on what I can take with me.
No, because you want to eat, where you're at, bro, you want to eat as much raw food as you feel like. If you eat 2 bananas, you will end up at Denny's. If you eat 6 or 8 bananas, you're going to be good to go. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's going to help you to continue to stay energized and to lose weight. Because if you're going to eat 2 bananas and try to think that's going to hold you over, it ain't going to happen. You're going to be at Denny's or eating the airplane food or whatever it is that emerges where you eat that junk food. You know. So I would, you got to have a plan, bro. You got to start making this fit into your lifestyle where you've got raisins, dates, apples, bananas, oranges, right there. So how long from the time that they call you to the time that you need to leave out the door?
Once they call me, I have to be there within an hour, and we're blasting off with another hour, so 2 hours from the time they call, we're flying.
Okay, so you have about, what, 5 minutes to get ready to go?
Yeah, usually I've already showered and I'm ready, and I've got my suitcase packed in the car, so I just put my clothes on and I'm out.
Okay, so that means you need to have, it sounds to me like you basically need to have like a plan already ready, you know?
Yeah, just like my suitcase full of clothes. I need to have that for my food.
You need what?
Like you say, have a couple of juices already in the refrigerator ready, and have some fruit in a bag, so all I have to do is just grab it and go.
That's right. I would have an emergency date stash. Get some good medjool dates and some raisins and even some, maybe some almonds. It'd be always good to have like an avocado there. Simple stuff you can grab. The main thing that's going to hold you over, that's going to be the easiest, is the fruit. But the dates are really awesome because they'll just hold you over. They'll help you deal with the stress. The carbohydrates from the fruit will help you deal with the stress. So that's basically one thing you're going to want to do, is basically develop a system now where you've got plenty of raw food. When I fly, I bring like 3 times as much food as I need, because I might want to have different choices. If all I bring is 6 apples, and I'm like, I don't feel like apples right now, I want to make sure I've got 6 oranges too, and some raisins, and some almonds, and some dates. And then I also, when I'm on the plane, I like to bring I'll bring a couple of heads of lettuce and a couple of things of tomatoes, or even a head of celery, even with a jar of nut butter. Anything I gotta do on the airplanes, when I'm in the air for 6 or 8 hours or whatever, I need to stay on point. Now, obviously the airplane food is not going to work, but you don't want to have any stress while flying. So bringing food with you is going to be absolutely key.
Okay.
So does
that'll help.
That'll help a lot, and bring as much as you can, and don't think, oh, this is all I'm going to need. Bring more than that. Bring yourself some healthy raw food options. I think everyone should, the kids that are going to school, bring more raw food than you need. Raw food is about abundance. So bring more than you need, and make sure you've got options in case you want something a little bit salty. You want to bring some celery, and you can even bring one of those little jars of nut butter, or you can even make your own nut butter in the Green Star juicer, or a single auger. You take soaked almonds and you just masticate them through your Green Star, and then you can just dip your celery into that. I like to bring 2 or 3 boxes of those cherry tomatoes and a couple of heads of lettuce, and that'll hold me for a long time. Bananas, if I bring those, I just make sure I eat those first, because they tend to get kind of smashed up. And then the apples would be next, and then the oranges after that, because the oranges last the longest. But those would be the 3 basic staples: oranges, apples, bananas. And the raisins are always awesome. And what I like to do is take a bite of an apple, and then take a little handful of raisins as well. And that way you get this little apple raisin snack, and that's just awesome. That'll hold you with carbohydrates from having any kind of stress. So, and you could even make yourself a nice salad with romaine, cilantro, tomato, cucumber, and then squeeze orange. And if you're still using a little bit of sea salt, you can throw that on there, and then you can have the options of the sweet and the sodium from the vegetables. So you want to, what I like to do is make sure there's a good balance of sweet and sodium. So fruits for sweetness and energy, and then the sodium for like to stay balanced and hydrated, like lettuce or celery or cilantro, or even I like to chew on cabbage, you know. So that sounds like really what you need to, the habit you need to develop right now, so you can stay raw and lose this weight and keep your license, you know.
Let me ask you this: as far as when I am home, right now we're getting into what we call our busy season. What our busy season is, people from the north come down to Florida or below Florida down into the Caribbean. Typically what happens is they'll either get sick or they'll get hurt, especially if they're on a cruise ship, they have to go back. So, we'll launch, go down to the Caribbean, pick them up, and take them back to, a lot of times Canada, during the winter time. And we're probably flying 4 to 5 times a week. So, that's with what we talked about, that's going to be helpful for me to have that pack of food that I can grab and take with me, have those staples of food. But what more when I'm at home and I've got time with it that I can focus on at home? I mean, am I still looking to drink as much juice and throw smoothies and salads, or because I noticed today you were throwing together some salads and a Cuisinart, and I'm like, crap, I never thought about that. I mean, it looked really good, and you made your salad dressing, so I'm interested to see how these salad dressings taste.
Yeah, I mean, have you been using the basic salad dressings with the flavorants and all that?
There's a organic market up the street that has, I think it's Bragg.
Yeah.
Bragg's. So
Yeah.
I've been using that, but I know still I need to cut that out. And after seeing what you did today, I'm like, that looks even, like you said, it's low fat. So.
Yeah, no fat dressings are the best in your case, trying to lose some weight. The Bragg's is okay. I know Patricia and Paul Bragg really inspired me, and I trust their, it's a good quality product. Way better than most. I'm not huge on using oils, but most people when they first start out, they need that. So it's an acceptable transition, the olive oil, lemon juice, sea salt, garlic, basil type dressing or something like that. That's pretty good at the beginning. But I also encourage everyone to continue to, expand on their knowledge and get into those no-fat dressings like orange, tomato, basil, garlic dressing. Or you can do like a mango, dill, jalapeno dressing. And those are like no-fat, super clean eating. I mean, there's clean eating in this world, the Miss Tosco, and then there's the Dan McDonald clean eating, which is like, there's no dairy, there's no like oils, it's like pure fruits, vegetables, and herbs, and they're just prepared simply with no fat or low fat. Even in your stage, bro, you can still make a nice orange avocado dressing. You take 2 oranges and half of an avocado. And at first you can use sea salt. Eventually, the people they need to use sea salt because they're addicted to the flavor stimulators that have been put in our food for our whole lifetime. Back in the 50s is when they really started dumping the chemicals to get us addicted on their foods. And so we use sea salt to help us to break the addiction to those foods, and then eventually what we try to do is cut out the sea salt and really enjoy the flavors of simple foods. And fasting on water for 24 hours once a week can really help you with that, because when you break a 24-hour water fast, it's much easier just to eat plain old lettuce by itself. So that's just another little tidbit. So you really want to practice those dressings. And I do promise everyone, not only am I going to make a DVD this year of dressings and salads, but I'm also going to try to make free YouTube videos as well. But there's a lot of things that you can do with these dressings, and one of my favorites is just simply orange and lemon juice. Now that's a little bit at the high end for some people, but the little benign things like sea salt, garlic, apple cider vinegar. Another good one is apple cider vinegar, honey, and some cayenne is a really good, no fat, like a fat burning type, wholesome, salad dressing, and so that's going to be a key as well. So you've got the DVDs and you've watched them, and so now are you getting better at making the food?
That's the one. Mainly to this point, all I've done is juicing and smoothies. As far as putting together salads and dressings, I really hadn't even done that yet. Why? I don't know.
Okay, well, why don't you make me a promise today that you're gonna make a salad and make a no-fat salad dressing?
Yeah. I mean, after watching what you did this morning, I'm gonna go get some more veggies and fruit and make something.
Did you make? Did you see the mucus dissolving recipe? Is that what it was?
I don't know about that.
Oh.
That doesn't get that mucus dissolving recipe.
Oh, okay. Anyway, the one on the channel page is. So do you remember what the recipe was that you saw?
Yeah, and that was the one on that DVD that I was watching this morning. I'm walking in here to my room now. You had the one you showed, the last one you showed was half avocado, I guess a quarter cup of apple cider vinegar and fresh dill.
Yeah, that's a good one too. What do you?
You had like some spinach, tomato, cucumber, cabbage. Another one you had like some tomatoes, one orange, a couple cloves of garlic, some parsley, and like a pinch of basil.
Yeah, nice. So what do you got laying? What sounds good to you today?
That actually, either one of those sound good.
Okay, well,
The only thing I would have to get would be some avocado.
oh, so you've already got some stuff laying around?
Say it again?
Well, you've got some stuff laying around already?
Yeah. I mean, I went to the market last night and got some stuff.
So why don't you?
I try to have something hanging around, and I've been using it, like I said, I've been using it more for juicing or smoothies, but now it's time to actually put some stuff together for some, salad.
Definitely want to stay encouraged to the juicing and the smoothies are number one. I mean, the smoothies are the easiest. The juices are the most therapeutic, and it's the salads that kind of keep you from tripping, because you want to sit down, relax, and chew. So you got to learn how to make some easy, quick salad dressings, and you need to learn how to chop up some veggies real quick, throw them in a bowl, and dump your salad over the top. And we should all learn how to do that within 10 to 15 minutes at the most,
Right.
So that is really what I want you, encourage you to do. And if you, make an art out of this, have some fun with this. I mean, it can just put the intention right now in your mind to say, I'm going to have some fun with this. I'm going to play with this, and I'm going to get creative. And it really is an avenue. I mean, for me, the raw food thing is a huge avenue of creative expression. And I love the art of preparing, low-fat, high-energy, raw, living foods.
Yeah, I mean, that's, here's the thing, is I got a lot of time on my hands, even though I have a busy schedule, there are times when I have a lot of time on my hands.
Right. I'm gonna tell you though, with your lifestyle, the juices in the smoothies are gonna be one of the key components. But also so get the cooler idea is number one for you. So get the cooler, have you know, 2 or 3 ice blocks in the freezer at all time ready to go. Your little cooler right there, all clean. You drop one of those blocks in there. You've got 2 jars of juice. You throw those in there. You grab your dates. You grab 3 apples and the bananas, and you're out the door in 5 minutes. And if you don't get called out, then there's your jar of juice. You drink those, and then you make a couple more so that they're always sitting there. And then that'll just be like, okay, I need something to eat. Well, boom, you've got the jars of juice in there anyways. And usually they last pretty decent for about 36 hours. And so,
36 hours?
you know, that's about as long as I will go, because I have been traveling more too. Normally, fresh is best. But, you know, if I'm going to be traveling, like I'll be traveling, I got to drive from San Diego to Phoenix. Well, I'm going to make 3 or 4 jars of juice, and I'm not going to have me any emergency situations, you know what I mean? Because I've had to compromise a few times over the last year in places where there was just nothing. And so I'm like, okay, I'm in San Diego, I've got my little Whole Foods or my little People's Market. I go there, I get a bunch of stuff, I know I'm traveling for the next 2 days, I'm making some jars of juice, lemon ginger blast, or even just plain old orange juice. 32 ounces of orange juice has saved my little butt many times, you know, because all you do is you carve up with the OJ and you're solid, you know, and there's no stress, and then the cravings are gone, you know what I mean? Then you don't go to Denny's or any of that other stuff, or even the grocery store, and get like lower quality food. You always want to figure out a way to keep the best quality food around. So you'd be good to have smoothies too, you know, I mean, and the smoothies, they don't last as long as the juices, you know, but you can make a banana smoothie at the last minute. I mean, if you wanted to, right before you got on the plane, you could take, you know, 4 bananas, a handful of spinach, 3 dates, and a dash of cinnamon, and boom, I mean, you could make that in like 3 minutes and have the Vitamix cleaned up. So make sure you get like about 12 jars with the plastic lids sitting around.
Right.
Do you have those yet?
I don't have them yet.
Okay. Yeah, get those.
I've been using like a 32 ounce, like a sports bottle.
Yeah, plastic?
Right.
Okay, you're going to want to definitely step to the glass with this new phase. So I love those mason jars. And then what you do is you get a brush, a nice long handled, about 12-inch handle with a, you know, about a 2 or 3 inch wide at the end kind of brush, so you can clean them easily. And I like the small mouth jars. They're easier to drink from. But the problem with the small mouth is you can't get your hand in there, so you got to have a brush. And then you use the plastic lids, and you make sure the plastic lids are on tight, or they will leak. So people have leaking plastic lids, so they just got to cinch it down another, you know, 1/8 of an inch, and then there'll be no leakage.
Let me ask you this: with the deal like the sports bottles versus the glass, what's the deal there?
Well, the fruit acids can pull, you know, plasticides from the plastic, and the glass is far more inert. You know, you're not gonna suck anything out of the glass within 36 hours, but you're gonna suck a lot of weird stuff with lemon juice, and just the fruit acids are gonna corrode the plastic, and then it's gonna absorb into the juice.
I get you.
So glass is definitely where it's at.
And any juice that I might take with me, then I need to have lemon just for the I guess you'd say the longevity of the length I can keep the liquid or the juice itself.
Lemon, lime, grapefruit, or orange. Any of the citrus juices will preserve the juices and keep them from discoloring. Many of the juices will separate, so you just shake them before you drink them.
Right, okay.
And orange juice is awesome, lemon ginger blast, or something as simple as carrot juice has saved my butt so many times. When I was broke and I could only afford 25-pound bags of carrots, I would just drink carrot juice. It kept me alive for months, and it kept me raw and alive. So carrot apple ginger or apple celery. Simple juices are the best. Your body wants carbohydrates, and it helps to deal with stress. It keeps your mind in a good state, and it keeps your body energized. So, the keys to your success here, my brother, is the juices. A couple of juices, boom, you knock those back, you're golden. Also, if you have a couple more minutes before you leave, smoothies are also really awesome. So make yourself a nice banana spinach smoothie. And then you're going to want to have those dates and raisins and apples sitting right there on the counter. You know where they are. Goji berries would be awesome because those are a real power food with lots of aminos and brain food. And it's also going to help with stress because it's a whole body tonic. The goji berries, those are going to be awesome to sit around. Of course, there's a million other foods. I'm just not thinking of them at the top of my head. You may even want to have a little bit of dulse sitting around, which is, do you know what dulse is?
I do.
You do.
How do you spell that?
D-U-L-S-E. It's nice for like salt cravings. You can put a little bit of dulse on your salad, and it'll keep you from, because some different people have different cravings at different times, and some people crave the sweets. Well, that's where you bring in the fruits. Some people crave the salts. That's where you bring in the celery, the tomatoes, the lettuce, the cabbage, the broccoli, and the dulse is also really good. And kelp is also good, like powdered kelp to sprinkle on salads. It's really good to strengthen thyroid because it's got a high level of easily absorbable iodine to regenerate the thyroid and keep your thyroid going good. And so these are, and then basically there's going to be other foods that you're gonna think of at the top of the list that'll travel well. That'll be there. You can reach down into the cooler and like save yourself from ordering something else. You know what I mean? So at this phase of the game, bro, just fill yourself to the brim with fruits and vegetables. Don't worry about, oh, am I eating too much calories? Because calories from fruit and vegetables, they digest. Calories from potatoes and eggs and bacon and sandwiches and bread, they do not digest. People still eat the strangest food because food is our drug. So if you fill yourself up with fruits and vegetables, you'll see the weight come off slowly and steadily.
Well, that's what I need to happen.
Good, nice and steady with this. Have you had a colonic, bro?
No.
Are you afraid?
I don't even know what it is.
Okay, a colonic is where they flush your colon with water. It sounds a little strange, and some people don't like the idea at all, but personally I've found, especially in the beginning, if you want to see some results, eating fruits and vegetables and getting a few colonics, you go to a colon hydrotherapist. And she's done this a million times. She'll make you very comfortable. Or he. I had a male therapist once, and it didn't bother me one bit. I'm very secure, but usually it's a female practitioner, and she'll insert. Well, I'll leave that. It's colon hydrotherapy. She inserts a plastic tube into your behind and cleans out all the junk, and that starts clearing the colon, so that you can start to eliminate excess weight and garbage out of the large intestine, which pretty much keeps up most humans clogged up and backed up. So, just think about that and try to get comfortable with the idea, but you'll love the results, and that's all I'm talking about is the results of.
Now, is this something I can do with the schedule that I have, or is this something I have to have some time in between, or?
It takes about an hour, so you're just going to have to be able to make an appointment and be there for that allotted hour. And it's pretty easy, and it'll be very beneficial. So find a colon hydrotherapist in your area. That's just going to help you to see, oh wow, I can really do this. And once you see some results, then it helps to motivate you and keep you on track, you know. So we've got a food plan now. That's going to be key for you. Is there anything else?
That is, just more than anything, just making expanding on my menu. Having it sounds like what I've been thinking. I mean, it's been helpful watching more of your videos and that kind of thing. It's like, okay, so at least I'm kind of thinking on the right track now. It's just I got to do it. After watching you this morning and watching the different salads, I mean, that looks like an easy, breezy fix. I mean, it wasn't anything in there difficult to do. So it's just a matter of putting the plan into action.
Why don't you set? What I like to do is when I need to take it up a notch, I make a plan the day before. Like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have orange juice for breakfast, and then I'm either going to have, and then I'll have for usually my breakfast meal, I can nail it down to one thing. And then what I'll do is for lunch, I'll say, okay, and if I'm feeling it, I'll have another juice, or I'll eat fruit. And then I have that, like, 2 options. Then I have something in my mind, and I already know then that I'm not going to just wander off and go get like a raw, pizza at the local raw food restaurants. Like, I have this plan. I got orange juice for breakfast, and like coconut and E3 Live algae for lunch, or I'll have some fruit for lunch. And then I already have my plan, depending on what I feel. And then for dinner, I'll be like, okay, for dinner I'll either have more fruit, or I'll have like a huge salad. And then I have this like plan set in place, an idea of what I'm going to do. And then it helps me immensely, you know what I mean? To already have like a overall layout of what I'm going to do the next day and how I'm going to eat. It's very, very helpful. It's a little neurotic, I'll admit, but we are fighting against a world that is so overtaken by the food peddlers, the medical establishment, the junk food makers, the meat makers, the milk purveyors, and we just want to get back to fruits and vegetables because we know it makes sense, and we know that's what's going to work because we've seen it. I've seen it thousands and thousands of times. I have people that have lost everything from 20 pounds to 250 pounds, all with fruits and vegetables. I don't see that with the other. I've never seen that with any of the other. I tried Weight Watchers for 6 months. I lost 7 pounds. It's like, I'm going to get you to lose 7 pounds in a week on this program, but you got to have a plan. And the best you can do, what you want to do, bro, as much as possible, you want to be on a no-fat, high-fruit, high-vegetable diet. Like, if I was you and I was in your position, just from what I understand of you so far, I would eat like half fruits and half greens. And I would consume my fruits whole for the most part. Oranges, apples, bananas, grapes, watermelons, papayas, etc. And then I would consume my greens in the forms of juices, which I love as a therapeutic measure to really help to wash, flush, and alkalinize the guts and keep you from drinking. And then I would use the smoothies to also add in greens and fruit. So you got bananas and spinach, which is a perfectly balanced meal, or bananas and kale, perfectly balanced meal. Throw in a couple of dates to sweeten it up even a little bit more. And then I would have like fantastic salads. And romaine is like a huge staple. But on the DVDs, there's also this awesome cabbage salad with cabbage, honey, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of cayenne, and some soaked almonds. You could put that in a Tupperware container, and you could, and that brings me up an idea, bro, is you should always have a couple of containers. Glass would be the best. Medium-sized containers where you always have, you know, at least 1 or 2 different raw food dishes prepared at all times. Because certain dishes, like that cabbage, honey, apple cider vinegar salad, I think I call it the tangy cabbage salad in the DVD, but that'll just sit there and marinate for like 2 or 3 days. And when you go to eat it 2 or 3 days later even, it'll be so marinated and so delicious, but yet it'll be totally raw and totally healthy. And in the weight loss thing, you may want to even eliminate the almonds and just have a nice, you know, so have a couple of marinating salads at all times in the fridge. That would be good for your lifestyle, bro, and anybody else, because what happens is people go too long and they don't have a plan, and then they just grab the nearest thing, whether that's at the convenience store or the grocery store, and it takes them off track from the super clean raw food diet, which will help you to lose weight.
That's me right there.
Does it? Yeah, so does that make sense if you have like, because you can marinate like romaine in like orange juice, and then you take oranges, cucumber, or you take romaine, cilantro, cucumber, and tomatoes, and it's sitting there in a glassware bowl with, you know, usually they have the plastic lids, but it's, you know, it's better to avoid plastic for several reasons. You use the glass, and then get a nice high quality set with a snap-on lid, and then have that salad, those salads sitting in there for, you know, I would personally, I could get, I wouldn't, they probably wouldn't sit around for more than 2 days with a guy like me, you know, because I have such an ability to be on point, and I've got so many skills. But when you're first starting out, take some time. What you do, bro, is, and everyone out there listening to the video, is you make that salad, and then you make your salad for dinner that day when you've got time, and you make double the amount. You double it up, and then you stuff it, cram it full, those glassware, I can't remember what they're called, but there's several different brands, but then you just stuff that full, and then you've always got that. So if you, every time you make food with your lifestyle, you should make double the amount. Like if you're making a smoothie for breakfast, make one jar for your breakfast and throw 1 jar in the fridge. That way if you get called out, you grab it, you throw it in your cooler, and you're out. But if you don't get called out, then you just say, okay, then you just have that for dinner, you know, or you have that for an after-dinner dessert snack, and drink that smoothie. So nothing sits too long. You don't want to throw anything away. So you you're gonna have to develop some skills. But over time, you see what works and what doesn't, and you'll begin to develop the skills that you need to make this a lifestyle, so that you've always got the raw food around you.
Let me ask you this. Throughout the day, like, because a lot of times what I'll do, especially if I know I'm first up on rotation or something, I'll hang close to the house just due to the fact that I can at least control. I know they call me out how long it'll take me to get to the airport. So, you know, I'll do some studying or whatever, and that in that time I can have whatever I need to have to prepared for food. So like I have, you know, I start out the day with a juice and maybe a smoothie for lunch or whatever. So in between that, if I start getting hungry, I mean, there's no rule that says I can't pop down a few bananas or a few oranges or apples or something just to keep me going if I get the hunger then, right?
Yeah, in your phase, bro, eat all the raw food you want. Your body will take several months to normalize itself. The ideal for human beings is 2 moderate-sized meals per day to maximize digestion and elimination. But most of us aren't there. We grew up on 3+ snacks. We've got some issues with eating in our country. So the main thing is just grab anything raw whenever you need to. That's the basic key right now. You don't want to go, oh, I just had a salad an hour ago, I shouldn't eat again, but yet you're still hungry. Grab a few bananas and get stabilized and stay stabilized, or we're going to set ourselves up for what I call the snapback effect. And you stay so disciplined, you try to do what's right so long that it ends up really screwing you over in the end, because then you end up at IHOP or something like that because you went too hard on the raw for too long before you were psychologically, physiologically, and energetically ready to handle 100% raw. You know, so, but it's easier now with the information because, you know, just grab like a handful of dates and get stable, and you'll be like, after about 8 or 10 dates, you're like, oh, you're cool. You stop thinking about like that little toast or that little bagel or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So at your phase of the game, eat as much raw food as you want. I wouldn't even really think about it too much. Just every time you get, even if it's not true hunger, which is something that you work on later in the game as you get to the higher levels of this, just even if it's a mental trip, it's better to train your body to reach for raw foods. So just think raw foods, fruits and vegetables, fruits in the forms of, you know, whole fruits are the best food. Eating your fruit whole is the best. Juicing your liquids is therapeutic, cleansing, and alkalinizing that's going to help you to lose weight. The smoothies are the most convenient thing in the whole wide world. It takes 3 minutes to make a smoothie and to rinse out the Vitamix. And then the salads are when you want to sit down and have a meal with your family, or a salad is more like a religious experience and an opportunity to chew your food and produce serotonin and dopamine and relax over a nice low-fat salad. So use all those aspects, and then snacks like apples, raisins, bananas, dates, goji berries, mulberries. Oh, those are super concentrated with minerals and sugars that will keep you satiated. So mulberries travel really well too, and they're one of my favorite foods that are dried. And so snack anytime you need to, and just always do your best to make sure it's raw, wholesome foods without chemicals. That's the main thing. And we're all chemical addicts in a certain way neurologically, but you'll find that you can relax and get over those cravings if you fill yourself up with nice, wholesome, you know, nutrient-dense, organic foods.
Okay.
Cool?
I guess probably the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about is getting in the exercise. I mean, right now, pretty much I'll walk 3.5 miles a day, and then do some push-ups, you know, 50 or 60 push-ups. My buddy that was turning you on me referred to, he said I might want to try Connected Yoga. So I heard you say something about a bouncer today, or a rebounder or something like that. What would you suggest as far as exercise?
Well, the other thing about the rebounder would be very helpful for you, because you can have a full rebound workout in 20 minutes and really change your life that way. And as you're losing the weight, it helps the cells in the body to tone up. Yoga will be really good for you in a lot of different reasons. Yoga opens up energy pathways and can be very beneficial in expanding consciousness. It's just a great way to stretch, and hot yoga is my favorite because you sweat out toxins, you really stretch the muscles out, you open up energetic pathways which help you to locate higher levels of awareness within you. It also helps you to get more in contact with your body. So I would try yoga. I think that we should not be ashamed of yoga, and it's just, you know, you kind of got to walk through the door. And you just go do it. I mean, yoga daily is best, but with your lifestyle, if you could fit in a yoga class or two a week, that'll help change your life too. And the same thing about is making a plan. Like, I like to make a plan Not every day, but like not now when I'm fasting. I have no plan. I'm just chilling. But when I'm out there, I'm like I usually devise some kind of eating plan and get some kind of idea of what type of exercise I'm going to do that day. So I'll be like, okay, I'm going to have orange juice for breakfast. I'm going to rebound for 20 minutes, and then I'll have my little lunch, and then I'll go for a walk. And I just have about, what I try to do is have, 3 or 4 positive things on my mind. Sometimes I'll even write it down on a piece of paper. I find when I write it down on a piece of paper, about 95% of the time I get all those things done. I leave the piece of paper open where I'm going to pass by it several times. Now I know every day I'm going to meditate. And I don't do yoga every day, and I don't always have an eating plan, but my main thing is an eating plan and some kind of exercise plan. So even if you just have one thing on there, if it's just a rebound, or you put on your little, even if you do it in your mind, even creates a propensity. And like I said, writing it down is the best way to make sure you get those things done. And I like to check them off. I check them off. It makes me feel like I'm accomplishing something. So on your little eating plan, you say, this is what I'm going to have for breakfast, this is what I'm going to have for lunch, this is what I'm going to have for dinner. And it's all tentative and can be changed at any time because we need to stay flexible in our lives. And then you say, I'm going to rebound for 20 minutes, or today I'm going to go do a yoga class at the yoga studio. And then you've just got this great opportunity to follow through with those intentions. And usually you find then those intentions, which at first require a little bit of a little tiny kick in the booty, but pretty soon eventually they become habitual. And you just automatically put the yoga DVD in. Because sometimes I just I'll do 20 minutes of yoga in the morning with a little yoga DVD, and that's all that I have time for. But you want to start making a mental commitment or intention the day before, and then these things just slowly over time become habitual, and slowly but surely, from my experience, slowly but surely I sobered up. Slowly but surely I became, 99% raw food person. Slowly but surely I began the daily meditation practice. And all of these things, I love to walk. So slowly but surely I got into the habit of just, even if it was a 10-minute power walk, I would just fit that in. I'll be back in 10 minutes and then we'll leave. Okay, see ya. I'll be back in 10 minutes, Or even just a 5-minute breathing break. To take 5 minutes to sit down and to just look at your breath, to practice breathing, inhaling for 8, holding for 8, exhaling for 8, holding for 8. And that'll help to just, what that does is balance the left and the right hemispheres of the brain and gives you a nice fresh start. And all these things slowly but surely become the habits that create a fantastic life. Because otherwise we're going to Denny's and we're sitting around and we're watching like some kind of stupid thing on TV because we don't have these other constructive things on our mind, our constructive intentions. So fit that in, like, okay, tomorrow 20 minutes on the rebounder. I'd get a rebounder if I was you, bro, because you can fit that in real easy.
I think I've seen one down at the Palladium Sam yesterday.
You might want to get a high quality one too. They're just much better.
Okay.
So if you got a little dough to spend, they're anywhere. If you got a little bit of dough to spend, I mean the cheap ones are $60, but I've broken 3 of those in my life. I never buy those again because I break the springs, and plus the quality of the bounce isn't as good. But but what I like to do is, a $300 one is really suffice. And they go all the way to up to $800 where you get maximum bounce and you also get the lifetime out of it. I figure I just bought, over the course of 2 years, I bought like 3 $60 ones. I thought, I might as well just buy the $300 one, and I still have it in the back of my truck and not a broken spring, and it's still working probably 3 years later perfectly. So it's worth the investment,
I mean, I just don't want to go. I'm tired of going to the gym and lifting weights, and it's like no motivation there. I mean, that's the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to go to the gym and lift weights.
Oh, why is
I
that?
don't know over that.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Uh, uh, I don't know. I guess because I did it, and I never did ever really get the results that I was looking for.
Okay, well now what I want you to do, I don't want you to give up the weights, not entirely. I understand your frustration at this time, but now you're going to do your best to give up the drinking, and the way you're going to do that is with the green vegetable juices, and then you're going to get energized from these raw foods. Have you ever eaten like 15 or 20 dates and gone to the gym?
Never.
Well, then you're going to want to try that. A couple of bananas and like 15 or 20 dates, a nice bottle of water, you're golden. You're going to go in there, you wait about an hour for all that to digest, you start that workout, it's going to be a whole nother story. You're actually going to feel the sugars burning cleanly, the cells energized, you're going to feel a nice pump. Your mind is going to be good with all those fruit sugars, and you're going to be stoked. It's not like going in there on chicken breasts and whatever protein powders and like slogging through a workout and never seeing any results. So, but because the weightlifting is building muscle is one of the fastest and best ways to build quality tissue and to burn fat off your body. So, just don't discount the idea. One of these days when you get a chance, try the bananas and dates, or you can even make a banana date smoothie and go into the gym, and it'll be a whole nother story. And if you eat the raw foods, you're gonna get results, and you're gonna stay motivated. Because I cannot wait to get back in the gym. I've been out of the gym for probably a few years, and I miss it. But I'm on a different phase of the game right now, and I'm finally living my dream right now, doing the water fasting. But once I'm done, you can be sure you're going to see Dan the Man in the gym, and I'm going to be a picture of raw vegan health in a way that no one else ever has been before. So I'm stoked. I love the gym. It's one of my favorite places. I go in there and I do medium. I just do medium. I don't kill myself. I'm not trying to have muscle fatigue for 4 or 5 days afterwards. I go in and I lift moderate weights for a moderate sets, and I just want to build muscle. I'm not trying to hulk up like a bodybuilder anymore, but I'm just trying to stay strong, flexible, and fit, and keep my muscles nice and tight. So don't discount the weight yet, because the raw foods is going to bring you energy probably like you've never had before.
Okay. And what was I going to tell you? I forgot what I was going to tell you. I had something on the tip of my mind, but anyway, all right. I'll definitely keep that in there.
Well, this has been really cool, Kenny. Is there anything else? Our time's up, but is there anything else I can help you with?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I can probably have thousands of questions to ask you, but it sounds like I've got enough information now where I can implement a program and get it going.
Yeah, cool. Well, if you want to do it again sometime, just send me another email, and I'll give you. We'll just hook it up, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, do you know where to pay me?
I'm assuming I go to your site.
There's a donate link below all of the latest videos.
Okay.
Make sure it says Dan's donation link,
Okay.
and then it's $150 for today, bro.
Okay, I can do that.
Well, I really appreciate
Not a
that.
problem.
Well, I hope you got some help today. I think you're going to do really great. I know it's hard to get started, but really do this for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for the world. Do it for yourself, because you deserve it. And we've been bamboozled. You know what I mean? And health is just beautiful. Health is just awesome. Because when you're sick, it's just life just is not as much fun. You know.
Yeah, man, like I said, I cannot continue doing what I've done in the past. As
Well then,
It's time to change.
just remember, just keep plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables around, and do not stop from this day forth educating yourself on raw foods. Watch more videos from other people, and just get raw food consciousness into your mind, and try not to get too lost in the whole what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do. There is some, conflicting information, but the main thing is, bro, is to make your diet predominantly fresh, whole, organic fruits and vegetables. And then as you learn more and more, it might take you a couple of years to really master this. So what? Take the time. You'll add years to your life and life to your years. And really, I like to simplify it just by saying fruit and vegetable consciousness. Go to the produce section, buy as much of it organic, locally grown, and learn about your farmers markets, and just fill up your refrigerator with fresh fruits and vegetables, 2 or 3 days worth at a time. Always have dates around in the fridge, always have raisins around, always have some almonds and some sunflower seeds, and always make sure you got a couple of heads of lettuce and a head of celery and apples. Just make sure you got like 2 or 3 days worth of food is about all I like to do. And then make sure there's plenty of options, and then you'll be golden. And always reach for the raw food first. Don't tell yourself, I'm not going to have that cookie. Just tell yourself, I'm going to eat 4 or 5 bananas first. And almost every single time you'll see that you really didn't want the cookie. You just wanted some, some sugars for your cells. And then you're golden. You're like, thank God, because you know you don't want to eat the cookies. You know you want to eat the fruit and the vegetables. So, fruits and vegetables for the win.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, Kenny. Thank you very much, man. I sure appreciate your time today.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you in the future.
All right. Peace be with you.
You got it. See ya.
Hey, thank you, my friends, for watching this video. I really hope it helped. I know they're long, but this is a great way to get some really high quality information. I've been studying this stuff for a long time, had a lot of experiences, helped a lot of people, and that was particularly enjoyable for me. So anyways, I'm going to continue on with this water fast, and thank you so much for your time. Thanks for subscribing to these videos, and also thanks a lot for signing up for my email list at regenerateyourlife.org. I'm going to be sending some special videos, and also you get special deals on some of the new DVDs coming up. And if you're on the list, then you get you get a special deal. So make sure you're on the list. Okay, that's at regenerateyourlife.org, and that's where you can contact me through email at the Ask Dan section. I'm not able to keep up with all of them, but I try to go through them and answer, especially the emergencies, and anybody who's wanting to get a consultation as well. So thank you so much. This was kind of probably a weird video with me laying down like this, but I'm on day 4 of a water fast. I'm feeling fantastic. Water fasting is the ultimate way to regenerate the tissues in the body. But the fruits and the vegetables is where most of us are at. We should be consuming lots and lots of fruits and vegetables. So again, thanks for subscribing to these videos and commenting, a thumbs up for these videos, and going over to my website, regenerateyourlife.org, and signing up for my email list. I sure appreciate you a lot. Thank you. Have a great day, you guys, and God bless you.